Josh Blue has cerebral palsy and is a comedian. However, he likes to say that he is a comedian who also just happens to have cerebral palsy. Josh has been featured on numerous shows, including The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, among others. He also has been on numerous podcasts and has been on the Paralympic soccer team. Josh lives in Denver, Colorado with his 2 children and is a single father. Can you tell us a little bit about your cerebral palsy, your journey with it, recovery, and so forth?
Sure. I was born with cerebral palsy, so this is all that I've ever known. Obviously, having a physical disability, there's lots of challenges, not just in day-to-day life, but just in society. Deal with people's preconceived ideas of what that is and ignorance. But through my comedy, I've been able to adapt and teach the world at least about cerebral palsy.
That's wonderful. And so growing up, throughout your life, were there different devices or different types of supports that you utilized in order to help you compensate for your physical deficits specifically?
Comedy was always my big go-to, just being funny is the great divider, it puts people at ease if you can be funny and you can kind of turn the situation around where people think that they understand what's happening, and then you make them look dumb with a joke and then they shut up pretty quick.
So how did you get into stand-up comedy? I know that's what you go to in order to quote unquote release your stress, be humorous and just, make light of your situation. But how did you decide that you wanted to go into stand-up comedy?
Sure. I started in college and I just was messing around doing shows on campus, and I had a knack for it, and I was fortunate where I just carried that into the real world and found a comedy club that accepted me, and away I went.
That's wonderful. So can you tell us about your stand-up comedy? What type of jokes you make? Are they just geared towards your cerebral palsy? Do they also cover other disabilities in general, or just other things? Doesn't have to be disability related.
Sure. My stand-up is very self-deprecating. I definitely make fun of myself a lot. There is quite a bit of an element of disability in my show, but that's not all that I talk about. In fact, I just released my 5th hour of stand-up, my 5th special. And, that's a lot of material to release into the world. And obviously it's not all about palsy, but it's from the perspective of a guy with palsy.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. And it's great that you enjoy doing this. I have watched some of your stand-up comedy and I think it's amazing. But for everyone that's watching or going to watch this interview, I wanted to hear it from you first so they know.
Oh yeah, well, it's not lighthearted. I definitely throw it in your face pretty good. So.
Yeah, but you're funny. So what has been your favorite gig or show and why?
So far, I guess I got to be the keynote speaker at the college that I went to.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
10 years after I graduated there, they invited me back to do the commencement.
Uh-huh.
It's just a really cool honor, and really, for some reason that one always sticks out to me as one of the coolest gigs I've done. Just because the place that I got my start wanted me back,
Yeah. Where did you go to college again?
Called the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Very
Very
nice.
hippie college, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Hippie college is good too. I went to Marymount Manhattan College in the city, and I will definitely say it was very hippie.
Yeah, that's a hippie college too.
And that's okay. It's all good.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
so you have two children.
I do, yep.
Yeah. How old are they?
My girl is 10 and my son is 12.
Okay. And you're also a single father, correct?
Yep, single
So
dad, yeah.
so as a single father who has CP or cerebral palsy, how have you managed raising your children? Are there struggles on a daily basis that you have, and so forth?
I mean, everybody has struggles. I usually don't equate anything to the palsy. There's a few things I can't do, but I think every dad's had a shitty day before, you know. So, you know, I feel like I've been a pretty great dad this far. And if you have palsy, um, I just train my kids to do shit for me. So.
But okay, but like for instance, if there's things that I'm talking about like, doing, for instance, when they were a baby, like, changing diapers
Oh,
or
I did all that. I did everything.
okay, you were able to do all of that. Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So what are some things that you can't do that
I don't drive, so getting them places. But there's always ways around that. I have an amazing girlfriend now that drives a lot for us, and there's Lyft and Uber and the kindness of strangers.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I totally get it. And that's awesome. And fortunately, I don't think with Colorado it's been as affected with COVID as some of the other states. Yeah, we're living in a crazy world, that's for sure. So with what you know now, what would you have told yourself 10, 20 years ago?
No, I guess I just would have just said enjoy it more, enjoy the ride. Yeah, I work really hard, so sometimes it's hard to like look around and go, oh, this is really my life. This is really me doing this. So yeah, just enjoy it more. But now I got nothing but time to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And so, going back to your children, what do they think of you as being a comedian?
They're not fans. Just kidding. They always want to come to my shows, which they're not very good audience members. So. They think it's cool, but this is all that they've ever known. So,
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And then lastly, what advice would you give to others who have disabilities, CP, who are struggling?
Well, I always just say, look, it's really not as bad as you think it is. I'm not saying your disability isn't, but I think the world around you can seem very daunting and hard. And I think a lot of times if you go out and do something, you'll find that it wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be, and you should never be down on yourself because of what you think someone else thinks of you. This is your body. This is who you are. If they don't if they don't like it, then why do you care? That's their problem. They don't get to meet you and hang out with you or see what a cool person you are.
That's great advice, and I would totally agree with you on that. So
yeah, you just gotta go with your life and don't let other people don't let them decide what your life is like.
Right, exactly. Well, it was so wonderful talking with you.